Hey everyone, it's TB Shores. It is May the 14th, 2015. I want to pick up on these videos about the Matrix. Is what I've come to understand it to be. It's Satan's Matrix. And how his seat is set here in this United States. And the Lord has got me pointing out these things that is trying to get across the understanding as to what this country has become and why it is about to befall his judgment. Right here in this website, I'm trying to get a better look at it. Let's see. The name of the article is Ground Zero, the Mystery Place of American History. And the thing I want to point out from here is I'm just going to read it. Let's see if you can get a look here at this website. And anyway, what I want to point out says, it is the very place America was dedicated and where God's favor and protection was prayed for. The very place linked to the warning of Washington that day about the protection being lifted. And we see that happened when the Twin Towers fell. Okay? The thing that's important right here is it's talking about the spiritual, right here, the spiritual birthplace of America is in the corner of Ground Zero, the place where George Washington, wait a minute. George Washington was and knelt on the day of its birth. So here we're talking about this being the place that basically gave spiritual birth to this country when Washington dedicated it to God. And the reason I wanted to bring that up at this point is that over here, let me see if I can find it right quick. It's about, hold on a minute. The Reconstruction. If I can find what I'm looking for, I may have missed it. But it talks about the new One World Trade Center. It is now known as the World Trade Center, about it being 1,776 feet tall, which of course is the year that this country was birthed. Okay, right here we see it is, right here. 1,776 feet tall, which is the same year that the country was dedicated, when George Washington dedicated it, when the spiritual birth of this country occurred. It is also 17.76 at a degree. Let's see, it says, it's talking about the logo and how it is cut off at a 17.76 degree. Can you see it? Right here. Cut off. So I think what we can learn from this is how Satan is trying to set claim to what was dedicated to God. If you notice too, this represents a trident, which represents Trinity. It's called the World Trade Center. So we know that the new rule of this world, when the Antichrist takes over, will be a trinity of government, religion, and financial. Okay? That will be the Antichrist's trinity. And I wanted to get that said so we could maybe get some understanding about the importance of the spiritual birth of this country and how it was dedicated by George Washington. And Satan is trying to set claim to all that. And the thing I wanted to go to next is this right here. World Trade Center is built on a reclaimed land. All right, we're going to look at the website on that. Let me see if I can find it right quick. I had it set. There we go. Nope, wrong one. Well, we'll get there in a minute. I thought. What it means by reclaimed, right here it is, right here. You see this? It says was built on reclaimed land. And what I want to point out about that is this right here. It says land reclamation usually known as reclamation and also known as, let me see if I can get it on there, landfill, not to be confused with landfill. See, it's spelled different. And we're going to talk about that one here in a minute. Anyway, it is the process of creating. The key word here is creating new land from ocean, riverbeds, or lake beds. The land reclaimed is known as reclamation ground or landfill. Okay. Like I said, the thing I want to point out here is that the World Trade Center complex and surrounding area is all built on reclaimed land, which is called the process of recreating new land. Of creating, not recreating, but creating. Here we see again Satan's mimicking, trying to be like God. He's trying to create, especially when he's creating over ocean and riverbeds. That takes us back to Genesis. Go read the creation scriptures, and I'm sure you can see the comparison there. That's just another thing I wanted to illustrate about how Satan is mimicking things in this matrix that he's put together. It's everywhere. You can look so many things up and see the hand of Satan in it. Also, I wanted to point out that the foundation of the World Trade Center, the new one, and I'm thinking the old one was as well, but it sets on bedrock. Deep down, I think it's like 60 or 65 feet down. It sets on bedrock, which is again a mimicking. They purposely dug down to that so it could set on the bedrock. But it's about being on a foundation of rock, which again mimics things of God, because Christ is our foundation and our rock that we build upon. Okay? I'm going to see. Let me see. I'm looking over my notes. Yes, here's something I wanted to point out to you. And I'm just going to show you the notebook to save a little time. Here, I've wrote the World Trade Center site sets on, hold on a minute. It sets on Liberty Street and Church Street. And what the Lord showed me about this is it's about controlling liberty and controlling church. Liberty means condition of being free from confinement, servitude, and forced labor. Liberty is all about freedom, okay? And church, the definition is the Lord's house. Of course, we know that. But the most important thing